John Vanderpool is here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Good evening, Team Freedom. Welcome, welcome. You know that we all have a choice. We can choose to be committed to success, or we can choose to live life without a goal or a dream. It's up to you to decide which you're going to do. All we know is that it's your responsibility. No one can do it for you. You have to decide. You create your world. So let me ask you, the world you're living in now, is it the one you want? Because if it is not, you can change it. I can change the world I'm living in. Hyacinth can change the world she's living in, and so can you. But in order to change it, there's one word you want to hang on to, and that word is belief. You want to believe that you can change your world. Everything starts with belief. Once you believe it, then you can go out and do what it takes to create your world. So what kind of world do you want to live in? Whatever world that is, you can live it, you can learn, you can become that world you can create if you learn new ideas, new attitudes, and new skills. So the important thing about it is that you understand that you are capable of learning new things. And you have to prioritize which new things you want to learn. Once you understand that it is up to you, that if anything is to change, it is up to you. And if it's going to change positively, it's up to you. And if it's going to stay negative, it is up to you. But once you decide you're going to change, then you must be prepared to learn new ideas. Why new ideas? Because the ideas you have been using have gotten you to where you are. So if you get new ideas, then you can go to new places, to different destinations. Similarly, you want to learn new attitudes and you want to learn new skills. So with new ideas, new attitudes, and new skills, you are equipped. You have the tools, you have the means to create the world you want. Now, in creating the world you want, you can't do it by yourself, unfortunately. So you want to help others, to create the world that they want, but inside of something that you are doing. That is exactly what we are doing here. We are creating. Where's my work? You are using the computer. Oh, Jesus Christ. My screen just disappeared on me, y'all. Sorry. Okay. Oh, hold on. From the beginning. Okay. Yes. So, oh, geez, we reached principles. Man, I messed up here. Welcome. Okay, we create our world. Is it the one we want? We can change it. Believe that you can change your world. Believe and then take action. Yes, as we were saying, you can learn new ideas, new attitudes, and new skills. And these new attitudes, these new skills, and these new ideas, they can help you to do what it takes to create your world. Just understand, creating your world is not something you do overnight. It takes time. And we are saying that you help others to create their own world, because when you help others inside of what you do, then you can then grow exponentially. If you do it by yourself, you grow at a particular level that is what we call slow, but by helping others, you grow exponentially. So the more people you help get what they want, the more you get what you want. The more you learn, the more confident you become. And with that confidence, you become fearless. The more fearless you are, the higher you can achieve. So let me ask you, are you ready to create your world? Are you ready to be the awesome person that you were born to be, that you were meant to be? Well, this is why we have these sessions. So, and our goal is to help you to become the best you can be, just as we are working on ourselves to become the best we can be. And now we move on to the principles. And last week we met the principle of enthusiasm. And today we're going to meet the principle of self-control. Principles of success provide us with the best practices to guarantee success. And that is what Napoleon Hill says, and that is what we believe. And the one we did last week, enthusiasm, that is important. It is actually important towards your success. But you will also agree that enthusiasm unleashed can be a dangerous thing. And this is why we have to learn when to unleash it and when to cool it down. And this principle is the principle we use to cool it down. And this principle is self-control. We have to learn self-control. By learning self-control, we are able to avoid something called over-enthusiasm. What is over-enthusiasm? When you are just going, and trying to, because we're talking here about sharing with other people, but some people, they can't deal with what we call over-enthusiasm. And you have to learn, we have to learn as business people to temper our enthusiasm so that we can increase our effectiveness. And the effectiveness we're talking about here is the effectiveness of communication. So in order to communicate effectively, self-control is necessary. Therefore, there can be no there can be no success without self-control. So there are times when less is more. And being in business allows you to understand that you can be more effective by being less enthusiastic, by being less effusive, by holding back, by cooling it, and having people to enjoy the communication and enjoy what you're saying. And even though you're not enthusiastic or you're holding back on your enthusiasm, the content of your delivery, what you're delivering to them, is what will help them to hear you and to therefore be able to receive the communication that you are trying to share with them. So developing self-control does take time, because you have to learn when you are, one, you need to know when you are over enthusiastic. Then you have to learn, okay, when to hold it back. And you also have to learn with whom to hold it back. Because some people need the high enthusiasm and some people don't. And the quicker you learn that, the better for you. So the better we get at developing self-control, the more effective we become. And as we said, self-control leads to better communication. And better communication leads to the decisions by our prospects, which is our goal. We want to get decisions. Decisions could be good, they could be bad. But the important point is we get the decisions so that we move on or we continue what we're doing. If somebody says, I want to hear more of what you're saying, that's a decision they made. And that would mean that you can continue delivering, excuse me, delivering the information you want to share with them. Self-control allows you to become the master of your destiny. And this is what we are about. Hyacinth, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yes, I think it's important that you chose to focus on the whole enthusiasm thing, because I know that in our arena, our business, the common advice is to be excited, be enthusiastic. And you're so right that sometimes it can be too much for some people, because there are people who just more run around as if they're bursting at the seams with excitement all the time. And it really doesn't always work. So it's good. It's a good bit of caution that you throw out there for people to know how to control, when to burst out in enthusiasm and when to be a little more low-keyed. I think that's really an important distinction that needed to be addressed.
Thank you, Hyacinth, and that was awesome. Great. And now we move on to things successful business owners do. And although we say things, we are actually looking at one thing every session. And today's session, we're looking at one thing that successful business owners do, and that thing is they never give up. So if you want to be successful, the first thing you're going to do is make a decision. You're not going to give up. Because once you give up, there's nothing anybody could do. There's nothing you can do. You have settled into what we'll call failure. We don't like to use the term failure because what we understand is that, yes, we're going to meet challenges. And in facing challenges, we have to learn to overcome them. And in overcoming challenges, we learn, we grow, we become better, we become different, we become an improved model of ourselves. And that is the importance of challenges. So when we understand the importance of challenges, we learn to appreciate them. So if you give up, then you take away any possibility of learning to handle challenges. And if you can't handle challenges, obviously you can't succeed. People who give up take away any chance they have of being successful. So one of the things successful business people do is they do not give up. They, on the other hand, decide that they're going to learn new skills, learn new behaviors, and learn new attitudes so they can handle differently the challenges that they have to face. And in doing so, they equip themselves for the success that they're expecting. You see, if you're going to be successful, if you want to be successful, you first have to expect to be successful. And if you expect to be successful, would you be thinking about giving up? The two things can't reside in the same place. Is either you're expecting success or you're thinking about leaving, about giving up, about dying. And since we don't want that, then we want to think about moving forward. And if we're going to move forward, we have to learn how to move forward. We have to learn to handle challenges. We have to learn the skills, the behaviors, and the attitudes that will help us to take care of the challenges that we must face as young business people. Why do we have to face these? Because that's the nature of the beast. Challenges come with being in business. So understand that there are challenges and you will have to face them. Quitting takes away the possibility of learning. If you're not involved, then obviously there's no way you could be learning anything new. And without learning anything new, you can't win. How do you learn? You learn by doing. So you have to be involved to be doing. You learn by listening. If you're involved, then you have other people in the business, some people who have gone where you have been, and you listen to them and you learn from what they say. You learn by observing. You want to see what others do, and you want to observe so that you could copy if you want, because there's nothing wrong with copying if you're trying to improve yourself, if you're trying to do something to make you better than you are at present. Observing and copying is good. And in order to do all these things, to listen, to observe, to copy, you have to be around. So you do not think about quitting. Success comes only after mastery. You see, you have to not only learn skills. Learning the skill, the basic skills, is one aspect of it. But to become really good, you have to master the skills. And that is where people who are successful, those successful business owners, they are masters of certain skills. They don't master every skill, but there are certain skills they master, those skills that can help them with their business. And that is where how you have to think about it, that you want to learn the skills that can help you to master what you want to succeed in. And what we know about mastery comes with time. So you cannot think about quitting. No. You have to be around if you want to get to mastery, because it's only through mastery that you reach to the heights of success that most people only dream about. So Hyacinth, is there anything else you want to add? Okay. Then we move on to announcements. And the first announcement we wanted to talk about is the regional training event, which will take place at the Crown Plaza in Saddlebrook, New Jersey on March 14th, 2020. And that takes place from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, why do you want to be there? We're just talking about not quitting. We're just talking about learning skills. We're just talking about learning from listening to others. We're just talking about observing. Well, that is why you want to be there. Because at this event, there'll be people who have done what you want to do. They have been where you have been, and they have gone from where you are to where they are. And they have done it because they made the commitment that that is what they're going to do. And you can listen to them, you can learn from them, and that is why they are there, to help you, to teach you. So March 14th, let us all make it our business. We have to register in our back office, and then we go on March 14th to the Crown Plaza from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is important. Second announcement is United, which takes place from April 24th to the 26th, 2020 in Orlando. And one thing I'll say is this company knows about training. They know how to train you. They know what to do. So the more of these events we get to go to, the better for us. So let us make it our business to go there April 24th to 26th. Of course, it will take a little more time than that. Don't be aware, when I say take a little more time, you're not going to go the 24th and leave the 26th. So you want to spend a day, you go on the 24th because they start in the evening, but they also end on the night. So therefore, you spend the next day. So most likely you'll be coming home on the 27th or the 28th. But let's do it, okay? Next, we have local training. Every Sunday evening at 8 p.m., we have these sessions here. And this is what we call a mindset session, where we help you to think about becoming the person you want to be. Then there are business presentations online nightly. Now it's nightly, they actually take place at 10 p.m. But on Sundays, it's 10:30. Any other day, it's 10 p.m. You want to go. And what I would suggest, if you want to get more of this, go to chillinworldwide.com. That's our parent company, our parent team, our team members' our team website, chillinworldwide.com. Then we also have business presentations in Newark on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They start at 7:15. And this is where you can bring guests so they can see what it is we have to offer. Going by yourself is good. Going with a guest is better. But if you have to go by yourself, you do go. Now, you want to build online? If you don't like talking to people and you think you can, well, even if you do online, you have to talk to people, but at least you're going to have the people to talk to. Then we're going to start trainings on Thursdays in March to show you how to build your business online. I'm looking forward to that. And I know you will be also. Now we hand over. Oh, Hyacinth, do you have any additional announcement before I hand over to you?
No, nothing more. Did we talk about being a product of a product?
Oh, no, I did. I skipped that. So go ahead. Talk about it.
Yes, we just want to encourage you to take a dream trip. Put it simply, this is what our product is. Oh God, help me. It is a travel club membership. And so to learn more about your product, and even if you are not interested in the business, to at least experience and enjoy your product, your first step is to explore. Go to your Dream Trips website. Everybody, get a Dream Trip website. Go to your Dream Trip website, just explore around, just move around and see what's there and start using it. So start planning your first dream trip. Okay? That's it for that.
Okay. So Hyacinth, now we hand over to you to read from the book, Think and Grow Rich. Take it away, Hyacinth.
Thank you very much. Do you have the page I stopped on last?
39.
Oh, great. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was looking at it and thinking. I wasn't sure that was it. Okay. All right. So we were talking about but first of all, let me remind you that this book is Think and Grow Rich, and you can get your copy in the public domain. You can just go to Google and Google it and get it.
Download.
Okay? Download it. We ask or we suggest that you follow along with us, with me as I read, because for me, it helps to sort of seal in the information, because it's a lot of information, and reading along or listening and reading helps to do that. So we were actually in the chapter on desire, which is the starting point of all achievement. We had started to read about it, and he had talked about a few little stories, and he had also outlined the steps identifying the method by which desire for riches can be transmuted into its physical reality. Those 6 steps are really very important. Okay, so we continue. I love how Napoleon Hill likes to use stories in his writing. Okay, so he talks a lot about the Depression and what had happened to people during that time. And I will start over at the ending of where I stopped last time, because I think it's significant. If you do not see great riches in your imagination, because he was saying that you need to first see, things are created twice. You need to first see it in your imagination and then get yourself into action to help you realize it in reality. So if you do not see great riches in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank balance. Never in the history of America has there been so great an opportunity for practical dreamers as now exists. The 6-year economic collapse has reduced all men substantially to the same level. A new race is about to be run. The stakes represent high fortunes which will be accumulated within the next 10 years. The rules of the race have changed because we now live in a changed world that definitely favors the masses. Those who had but little or no opportunity to win under the conditions existing during the Depression, when fear paralyzed growth and development. And I like how this could easily apply to even now. There's opportunity. It is a changed world with the vast advances in technology. It is indeed a changed world with opportunities that could not even be imagined a few years ago. So these words, even though they were written many years ago, almost 100 years ago, they still ring true even today. So I continue. We who are in this race for riches should be encouraged to know that this changed world in which we live is demanding new ideas, new ways of doing things, new leaders, new inventions, new methods of teaching, new methods of marketing, new books, new literature, new features for the radio, new ideas for moving pictures. And it can be said for today, back of all this demand for new and better things, there is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose. The knowledge of what one wants and a burning desire to possess it. The business depression marked the death of one age and the birth of another. This changed world requires practical dreamers who can and will put their dreams into action. The practical dreamers have always been and always will be the pattern makers of civilization. We who desire to accumulate riches should remember the real leaders of the world always have been men who harnessed and put into practical use the intangible, unseen forces of unborn opportunity and have converted those forces or impulses of thought into skyscrapers, cities, factories, airplanes, automobiles, and every form of convenience that makes life more pleasant. Tolerance and an open mind are practical necessities of the dreamer of today. Those who are afraid of new ideas are doomed before they start. Never has there been a time more favorable to pioneers than the present. True, there is no wild and woolly West to be conquered, as in the days of the covered wagon, but there is a vast business, financial, and industrial world to be remolded and redirected along new and better lines. In planning to acquire your share of the riches, let no one influence you to scorn the dreamer. To win the big stakes in this changed world, you must catch the spirit of the great pioneers of the past, whose dreams have given to civilization all that it has of value. The spirit which serves as a lifeblood of our own country, your opportunity and mine to develop and market our talents. Let us not forget, I think I'll stop there. Okay, because he's talking about, as I said before, that it is applicable even now. There's so much that is new in the world and there's so much that is still being discovered in terms of business and business ideas and so on. So the words are applicable even in today's world. It is so true even today. In planning to acquire your share of the riches, let no one influence you to scorn the dreamer. Why? Because successful people understand that first, you have to dream, you have to use your imagination, you have to see what you want. And the only way you can do that is to think about it, to dream about it. We think of daydreaming as something negative, but it has a positive aspect to it as well. When you daydream and you get that picture of what you want clearly imprinted on your mind, that is the starting point of the steps you must take to actually make it a reality. You have to imagine it. It happens twice, first in your imagination, then in your reality. Any thoughts to share, John?
That we have the capacity, the ability, the capability to create our own world by understanding that things are created twice. However, if we don't dream, if we don't set up goals, if we don't have something to aim towards, then we're not going to get it because we're not creating it. But if we should think about it, we can create our world. We can decide and determine who we're going to be and what we're going to be. And we can start that today. We don't have to wait on anybody or anything once we understand it. So if you're ready, start today. I'm going to create my own world, and you should also create your own world, those of you who are listening. Okay. Thank you all for those who listen, and we look forward to you having a fantastic week next week, and we meet again next Sunday. Thank you, Hyacinth, for your fantastic contribution, and have a good night. Good night, everyone.